Hey guys, it's Mark here with Spiguyver Backpacking. I'm out in the woods again, and I'm chilling in the hatchling that I just did the review on. I've got some other gear out here that I've got that needs to be reviewed. I've got some stuff from Jason Flowers of Walhalla Hammock and Outdoors. So I've got some tree straps and whoopee slings that he sent that are now holding up the hatchling. But another piece that I've got is this here. This is what we're going to be talking about today and doing the review on and showing how it works. This is the Tato Gear Element Titanium Wood Burning Stove. So this one's pretty cool. It folds down flat. I haven't opened it yet. It's still sealed in its case here, or in the package that it comes in. So I'm going to open it up, check out what's inside, and then we're going to set it up and do a little bit of a test out here and see if we can boil some water and get this thing going the way that we should. All right, so let's check it out. All right, so I found a nice little spot over here where I've got everything set up. Is just over there. My son's laying in one of our netless hammocks, and I've got the hatchling sitting over there. But I wanted to find a space where I could clear some of the debris and have just the bare ground so that I wasn't risking setting anything on fire. The ground is pretty wet out here. This is a swamp area, so no problem there with the ground. So when you open this up, I haven't even looked inside yet. I've just taken the plastic wrapping off. Here's what you've got. So you've got the cover, which does have the instructions on the back, so you can see that. Okay, so it's got 4 steps, and the 4th step being optional. Just a piece of cardboard that kind of kept it all rigid. You have the actual pieces of the stove, and then just a little thing that talks about the stove and the compactness, ruggedness, airflow, that type of stuff, and shows kind of some of the other stuff that they offer and where you can get it. So let's take a look at the stove itself. So it is a fold-up titanium design, and it comes with 4 pieces. So you have the stove body, which folds. You have these 2 rod stick things, and then you've got this. So to start putting it together, you place this in, fold it around it. It's got little slots that these fit into. And then once you get it close to being done, pull out the ring, or the rod, and then insert the rod once you have it reassembled. And now you have the firebox part of the stove. And these pieces go into the top to create a integrated pot stand. Now it has a door on the side here. Let's see, there we go, that opens up, and that way you can insert more wood, fuel in here, or you can insert fuel through this section right here. So I say we set some things up. I brought out some instant coffee, some Medagliadoro. Figured I hadn't had a good cup of coffee today, so why not come out here, start a fire in this new stove, throw the Batch Stove's 10 cm pot on. You can see that it'll fit nicely on there, and get ourselves a nice cup of coffee going. I'm gonna get this thing going, and then I'm gonna throw a full 16.9 ounces of water into here, so it's like boiling just slightly over two cups of water. So we'll see how that goes and how long it'll take. So let's get it going. So now it has burned down quite a bit. Got a little bit of smoke coming out of there since I closed it. Maybe something burning down towards the bottom. But it's getting a good bed of coals in there. And so I am going to go ahead and put my water into my pot. And throw the lid on. Pop this on top. and just let this go. I'm not timing it. It's just kind of a come out here and do this test. So for now, I'm actually putting wood through the hole right here. But in a few minutes, I'm going to go ahead and open this up, open this side up, and insert bigger sticks in through this side just to see if that works. So we'll keep checking on this. So for my position over here, I've got this opening here that I'm feeding sticks through, and I also have the opening down below that I've been sticking the sticks through just to feed it from both sides. And I did have one point where the fire completely went out. So what I did was I opened up this side door, which now it's fallen down on top of the sticks that are there. But if you open it up, it does stay pretty well. But as soon as I opened that up, the added airflow caught the fire going in again, and we're back in business. So we're gonna let this go. So far, working pretty good. So what I am finding is that as the fire consumes the sticks that I have going in the side here, I am able to just shove them in and they keep burning. So that's good. While the fire is almost out down there, I mean, there really isn't a whole lot of fire going on. There are a lot of coals, and it is really putting off a lot of heat. We're getting pretty close with the water. There's bubbles in there, a lot of steam coming off of it. So it's definitely getting warm, and you don't necessarily need the flame in order to boil it. Okay, so with this stove, I was able to bring my water to a boil, make a nice cup of coffee, and I've still got some water left over in there because, you know, about 8 ounces for a cup of coffee. I did 16.9, so I've got some left over. But what I want to do is let this stove continue to burn itself out and then show the cleanup, tear down, and how different ideas on how to package this as you're leaving camp. So we're gonna let this thing burn and we'll come back and check it out. I'm gonna enjoy a cup of coffee. So just like I would if I was out camping somewhere and cooking, where I had any concern about any wildlife or the smells from my stove getting on my gear, I set up where I was cooking, where I was boiling the water, a little ways away. So let's walk over there and check out the stove and see how it is doing, if it's cooled off enough, if it's still burning. So you can see it's over here. We've got a little spot where I've got the stuff still set up. And so here it is. You can see that it's still got a little bit of warmth to it there. Not enough that it's going to burn me at all. So if I take these off, you can see the soot that has accumulated on those. And here's my pot. You can really see on there just the coloration that came from the just the smoke coming off of the wood burning. And you can see some spots that came up. Hey, let me turn this around, where it came up pretty good and left a pretty good coating on there. So now if you were to put this, let me set this down for a minute. It's over here. So if you were to put this inside of your gear like this, you can see got a little bit of black on my fingers here just from handling this. And that's going to come off on your gear. So you want to make sure that you are somehow segregating this. So I always keep my cook kit in an outside pouch by itself. Cook kit's the only thing that goes in that side pocket, and so that's a good way to go. So let's check it and see if it is cooled down enough that we can actually break this thing down and see what's going on here. Now I did leave a little bit of the leftover water in there just so that if I need to, I could douse this. But really touching this, I wouldn't say it's cool to the touch, but it's not hot. So I'm just gonna pick it straight up and show you what's underneath it. So you can see the ash, because inside it has those holes that allows the air to come up through. And as the wood burns down to fine enough, it kind of falls through. Now the rest that's left over can just be dumped on top. kind of give this a little tap. And now this really is relatively clean inside. All the ash just kind of falls out. If we want to make sure that we aren't leaving anything hot behind, I mean, I can touch it and there's really no coals there. Well, we did get a little bit of a hiss off of one of those, so maybe I'm glad that I did that. So we can go ahead, take our pieces, set them off to the side. Now to break this down, it's just like we put it together. Pull the pin out, open it up, take the plate out of it, and we can set that aside. And this will just fold up. And so here we've got this. We'll put the pin back in so that we have the pin kept. We can slide this, underneath here, along with these two pieces underneath here, so that they're kind of there. And really, there's not a lot that is dirty that's showing here, because you've got outside piece here, you've got a little bit right there, you can get some soot off of, but really it's folded with the outside being what's exposed. So if you get a good bag to put this in, something that's going to withstand it, it'll work out great. I really like this. You've got the word element, which is the name of the model of the stove, kind of cut out. They laser cut all of this, so it's cut out there. It's got Tato gear engraved, made in the USA, and then their logo. Really cool stuff. Check that out. Good stuff. So we'll pack this up and then we'll come back and talk. So after getting out and using this stove today, what are my thoughts on it? Well, it's a nice lightweight wood stove. There are a lot of different options out there for wood stoves, but I think this is probably, for me, one of the better options in that it does fold down very small, it's easy to put together, and it's lightweight. So I think in one point I had said it was 100 or 85 grams. So I actually put it on the scale and it came up at about, I believe, 135, but I'll show you the video of that right up here. Now, it has been cleaned. I went ahead and cleaned it all up so that there's no soot left on it, but it has left this cool heated titanium look all around it, which I think is pretty cool. So you'll have that to look forward to if you get one of these. So is this going to replace any of my other stoves? No, this isn't normally my style. I like the alcohol stoves, and it's probably what I will continue to use. But for a longer distance, long backpacking trip, or for any type of bushcraft stuff, I think these are awesome. I want to get some more use with this. I think I want to go out on a backpacking trip. Hopefully I can get it in before I have to give this away. But I want to get this out there and use it for multiple days to see how it works as my one sole cook stove. And I think that around here and along the Appalachian Trail, they're popular, and it's for good reason. There's a lot of fuel around, just sticks that you can use. Now, somewhere like the Pacific Northwest, where it is wet all the time and the wood is saturated, it may have a harder time being used as the sole stove. But maybe not. Maybe I'm wrong. I think it's a good stove. I think it's lightweight, compact enough that it's something I would use. Now, I am going to keep it in this stuff sack. So this one is a 1.9 material, so that it's a little bit thicker and a little bit stronger. It'll stand up to it a little bit better. Just because there are some sharp edges there, and I don't want it going through something like a 1.0. So would I recommend this stove to anybody? Absolutely. Anybody who wants a lightweight wood stove, I would absolutely recommend this too. It didn't take a whole lot to get a good fire going inside of there. Opening up this side door created a good vent through there. Where the word is laser cut out of there allows airflow through, plus it's kind of cut along the bottom to allow airflow to go underneath. And then inside, the base plate has the holes cut into it, which allows the air to come up and circulate through, which really helps to get a good hot fire going. I was able to get 2 cups of water boiling today and get a good cup of coffee on it. So I really like it. So this this stove retails at $60, and it's available. Tato Gear's North American distributor is Dutchware Gear. So if you go to the Dutchware Gear website, you can find it on there, and it is $60. They also have a smaller version, and I don't recall the name of the model or the cost on that one. But if you go on there, it's on there, and you can check it out. But for me, I think this one works pretty well, and I really do want to get out, get some more trips with it, and see how it works out for me. Hopefully I get that in before I have to give it away. So anyway, guys, I appreciate you checking in, seeing what I've got going today, and I'm going to keep testing gear, the things that you guys want to see, the stuff that's out there that's innovative, that gets you out on the trail. You know, anything that can make life easier out on the trail, I'm going to take a look at. So I appreciate you checking in. See you guys down the trail. Thanks.